welcome back my subscribers. Today I'm going to be talking about Webtoons, more specifically, the mistakes that I made along my journey and starting a little bit too soon, and rushing a few of my panels. My Webtoons isn't going to make it very long at the rate that I was going with the tools I was using, so here is a side-by-side comparison of the old panels on the left in color to the new ones that I'm sketching up on the right. To start off with, the program that I used to use was Metabang Paint on my iPad Pro. It's a really great free software for beginners, but I needed something a bit more, so I ended up looking around and, of course, found Procreate, which also has animation features, which is what I used for my character and the animation memes that I have been making, which works a lot smoother than trying to export every single frame through Metabang. But working with it, it did give me some insights. On the left, my panels did look like a standard comic where you would flip the pages from left to right. However, Webtoons doesn't work like that. Webtoons works as a scrolling top-down. It's actually funny enough, the measurements are actually the reverse of YouTube. YouTube's is 800 by 1280, whereas Webtoons is the other way around, so it's vertical. So it's only about 800 wide and 1280 tall. So I had to work with this as my boundaries and borders. So I kind of didn't do so well in my old comic panels. You can barely see the transition from frame to frame, but this tiny thin white border, like a standard comic that's printed out would be, which would be great if I was printing out the old comic, but this is a Webtoons that I wanted to transition over to my YouTube channel, which works out a little bit better if it wasn't a flip book like this. Having it being the scrolled Webtoons style more towards the right side, where you can see I have it broken up into different panels, works so much better when working with the Webtoons page. Now, I know there are other web comic apps out there, but this one worked out best for me because I've seen the platforms grow, and actually it was Lavender Town who inspired me to double check my comic when she redid some of her pages, reminding me of consistency of lighting and where my characters are in the comic to make sure that the environments don't shift too much. Another thing that I had was the text bubbles, inconsistencies, and it was so bold and brash, it just looked out of place. On the left, I kind of wanted it to look like the characters were arguing inside the house, but you can't see what's going on, which works in other situations, but there's nothing else shown in this before it jump cuts to them already at the next location. With this, I was afraid that my readers would get bored, which, ironically, they would probably be more bored if the pages kept moving so quickly, where one minute they're inside of the house, the next they're already at their destination. With the panels on the right, I wanted to take my time so that you can see them talking to each other, building up that she is excited, and then sprinting off while Dax is telling her to not be in such a hurry. That being said, you're probably wondering, well, why is the comic taking a while to make? That is because it is something that I personally have to set up a schedule for when I upload pages for, just like I have my YouTube channel. Because I have my YouTube channel as my priority to create the project, because it is good practice for me for something like the Webtoons comic, I have to dedicate my time and rotate it around. So regardless of funding, I'll still be making the Dawn of Gales, but it's going to take a lot longer without the funding to make sure that this project has its timely schedule, because other things pop up. Whether that's personal time, family friend time, or my part-time job, which is how I was able to earn the money in the first place to get an iPad Pro. I could have stuck with the tools that I had, but I wanted to upgrade, which is why I got my Procreate. Rather than settling with Metabang, I didn't like it. And having the fundings come from Patreon would help me greatly. If I can reach that goal, I'll be able to work more full-time on the project. $3 tier gets you access to sketches, $5 tier gets your name read out in the credits, and $25 will get you an exclusive character, whether you want the design or a random design, and your name in the credits after each page that you are featured in. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you're not already part of the subscriber squad, put your paws to that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!